I would fuck the guy on the right, I would probably be in a relationship with a guy on the left.
Can the same guy be attractive or less attractive and just by the way he moves? Does just appearance make a guy attractive or the aura around the guy also make him attractive?
I think the aura around him.
So would the aura of a less attractive guy make him more attractive if his aura is attractive?
Yeah, it could. And it also could make an attractive guy less attractive if it's not good.
So we're gonna see about this whole, what we call aura.
So what you'll see is our wonderful subject, Broderick, portraying two different versions of himself. One that tends to be so much more traditionally masculine in how he conducts himself, and the other one where he tends to be less so and can show a very different side of himself.
I feel like he's more approachable.
To determine if people do tend to be a little bit more attracted to the traditionally masculine traits.
What is about the bad boy vibe that people are attracted to? So are you attracted to the bad boy?
I always have been.
Why?
They're just not the straight. They're not the straight good ones. They're just.
They break the law.
Not the law. I don't know. Just kind of like live life how they want to live it, not by how other people want them to live it. They do what they want to do when they want to do it.
Yeah, but that don't always make for a good relationship.
Oh, it never does. I've learned that, but that's what I'm attracted to.
You can take the test as it's going along and see what comes up for you.
One on the left and one on the right.
I would go with the one on the right.
Why would you go with the one on the right?
Well, he's not. He's sitting there. It's so improper. The other one looks like kind of dorky.
But he's being so rude. He's being so rude right now.
It's challenging.
It's challenging for what?
Look at, he wants to give his attention to somebody. That's so easy. I would go for the one where I would have to work for the attention.
Yeah, but the one.
And then it's more of a, once you finally get it, it's like, ha.
But
It's
you can
more of
never.
a reward, and then it's,
But can you keep it?
I wouldn't want to keep it. That's half the game. It's just getting it and moving on.
Versus the one on the left would probably cook for you, would probably pay all the bills, would probably tuck you in at night, would probably never cheat on you, would probably be at your beck and call. But because of him buttoning his shirt up all the way to his neck and him sitting proper, that's a turn off.
It's not a turn off. It's just not a turn on. Like,
Oh. I think I hate both of them.
Nah, I'm into the one on the right.
What is dicks over?
Tell me about man spreading. What's that?
I am not doing that, but you're just like, yeah,
post.
whatever. Oh, I didn't mean to.
I like the guy on the left, the way that he's sitting up, his clothing.
This guy might be too proper for me.
He seems a little more at ease, so I'm more inclined to go with the right.
Someone might try to order a drink, and since this guy's spread out, they can't get to him.
The man on the right, I like more. Because I love sweatpants. I enjoy a good penis print.
More of a relaxed look and presentation based on how we're dressed and how we're positioned. Tends to be a little bit more traditionally masculine because it shows that there's not been too much thoughtfulness or effort that's been placed in it.
doesn't matter to me, really.
Why the one on the right?
The one on the left is a little over the top.
But he's just expressing his feelings. Don't women want men to express their feelings? Don't women always say, you don't express your feelings enough to me? And the one on the left is obviously expressing his feelings.
No, obviously. He's telling a story.
Yeah, but he's very expressive. So what's...
You can express your feelings without moving your arms all over the place.
But you can express your feelings a whole lot better if you're being expressive with your feelings. So you're going with the one on the right again.
Yes.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
The guy on the left is really theatrical.
I can tell that he's a little bit more effeminate in his gestures, but I find that kind of sexy.
You're a good buddy. You're not the type of person that I want to take home with me. I know what firework looks like to do that.
His body language reads a lot friendlier than the other guy.
It was easier to just focus on Mr. Right because he was just staring at you.
I need that game, that like, are you interested in me, aren't you? Like, that's what entices me.
Hand gestures. I tend to use a lot of hand gestures. From one version of Broderick, you'll see him using his hands a lot more, and that tends to be less traditionally masculine because it's opening up a little bit more of like an emotional vulnerability.
Did you see that shot though? Dude, that thing was crazy. The whole apartment started going wild, man. But did you see that shot last night?
Dude, that thing was crazy, man. The whole apartment went wild, yo.
I'm gonna speak on this one. The guy on the left, a little too high pitched. little too emotional. He seems like a fun guy to hang out with. The guy on the right, I'm sorry, his voice just got a little too monotone.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let you go ahead and with.
No, I agree.
But which one? Which one though? If you had to choose.
If I had to, I mean.
Well, which one would you choose?
Probably the guy on the left.
Really? Why would you choose the guy on the left?
Because he seems like he really is into the conversation, where the guy on the right seems like he just smoked something.
Him on the right.
Yeah, that was quick. How come?
His voice was deeper.
I get the juxtaposition, but that was too slow.
He was able to just say something and it mattered.
I always wish that I had that smooth voice, like just like more chill and kind of just more quiet.
I think I would be drawn to find the person with the lower voice than like the guy with the high squeaky voice.
How come?
I grew up with men that were very machismo. I see myself being attracted to that.
Speech can communicate a lot. Being slower, lower is something that tends to be a little bit more traditionally masculine because it doesn't really show an openness.
Which one now?
Well, it depends.
Depends on what.
What is he looking at?
I don't know, but the person that he's talking to, he's not paying as much attention to the person that he's talking to versus probably looking at somebody else that's walking in and maybe looking pretty hot.
Well, and that's if he's talking to a guy, then yeah.
So which one, as far as the attention, would you like someone to...
As far as the attention, probably if it was me that they're talking to, the guy on the right. If it was me walking by and he was talking to his friend, the guy on the left.
But what if he's talking to another female?
Definitely the guy on the right.
Why? Because
I find that attractive when guys don't actually look at me and they're paying attention to the female that they're with. I find that to be a very attractive trait.
See, but that's not bad boyish. The one on the left is more bad boyish.
Yeah, I know. But I have standards too. I mean, I like a bad boy, but I'm not 100% all bad boy. I mean, there's certain things that I want and I like.
See, now you're trying to build a man, but we're gonna go on.
I mean, definitely on the right. Yeah. He's way more engaged.
So you find yourself really drawn to the one that's going to be like locked in.
Hell yeah.
He's leaning in a little bit. That's endearing.
He looked like he was actually paying attention and cared.
What do you hate about the guy on the left?
He's just looking at other people.
Don't make eye contact, don't look at them. So just that little snippet is like, oh, that's sexy.
Eye contact really conveys a lot of intimacy because when you're looking directly at somebody's eyes, it's kind of like looking into the window of their soul. So there can be an emotional connection from that.
So what happened between you and your ex?
Well, I always felt like I was the one loving her and caring for her and everything, but it seems like she wasn't happy. She always felt like she was the one that was calling the shots and always doing everything right, and she basically broke my heart. Well, I mean, we tried to make it work. I mean, we went out a lot. We tried to do different things. We tried to, find the missing pieces, but unfortunately, we just couldn't figure it out.
The guy on the right, 100%.
What?
Because he's taking the blame along with, he's saying we. He's not putting it all on her.
All right, so now you started to confuse me because that's not a bad boy trait either. And so...
I told you that I like bad boys, but I'm not 100% into like the total bad boy. I have standards.
You see, guys, you see why this is confusing. You got to act certain ways at certain things. Like you can't be just a total bad boy. You have to be like this.
Correct. You have to be a caring bad boy, an attentive bad boy.
This is confusing, absolutely confusing. But let's see what everyone else says.
It's like Nicholas Sparks up in here.
I think the left was a little bit of a turn off because he kept blaming her.
I was ready to be like, fuck her.
He just had the answers too quickly.
He had closure. And the one on the right, there was a lot of ambiguity.
And I was like, just spit it out.
He was very internalized about it and just seemed like he was still thinking about it in his head.
He is not over her because he's still saying we, whereas number one was like I.
So emotional intelligence, or EQ, is when you have just a deeper awareness and insight about the emotional temperature of whatever might be going on. We can typically think about how traditionally a man is supposed to be really aggressive and kind of forthcoming. Otherwise, it's showing an emotional awareness.
So when do you want to hang out?
I mean, I'm free Wednesday. Are you free? I mean, I'm free after 6.
After 6 is good.
Dope. And I know this really dope Italian restaurant right down the street from you. Like it. You like Italian food?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure you're gonna love it. Hey, I shoot your number real quick.
Okay, so when do you want to leave?
Hey, we'll figure it out. I'll text you. Hey, can I get...
Right.
Why right?
Sometimes it's just a game for me, and I don't always want to have that direct follow-up. I want to kind of leave it to where it's like a mystery, where if I want to engage again, I can, but if I don't want to, there's no pressure.
Yeah, but he ain't making direct plans.
That's what I like.
But you tell me opposite of that all the time.
This isn't about you and I.
You complain about that all the time, that I don't make plans. You too. But anyway, so you see how this is confusing?
I'm talking about single me.
Single
I'm
you.
not talking about me now.
Okay. Oh, okay. We've changed all of a sudden.
Can I drink for it real quick?
Left. Yeah, no way on the right.
I'd rather have like an exact plan and footprint. It just makes you feel like the person cares about you more. It's always like, yeah, well, whatever, we'll figure it out. And that means that I'm never gonna see you again.
Shit, I feel like I'm such a slut, so I'd probably pick the one on the right.
Maybe I'm a flake. I don't know. The pressure freaked me out.
He knew how to play it. It was suave.
So there's something cool about it. It felt cool.
Yeah, the other guy was like, can you get out your decal while we try and match a date and time together?
Commitment tends to be something where we can tell a little bit about a person. And traditionally speaking, a man isn't supposed to be as committed or available. It's kind of what you think of as like the aloof guy. What's attractive about that?
It's like, I don't know what the fuck is attractive about. What is it? That's something deeper, like, rooted in me, where I'm, like, vying for someone's attention, right? Like, I don't know. That's fucked up, man.
But you don't really know what you want. I think you look confused.
This is not about me.
I think you're confused.
I'm not confused.
Hello? Is it me you're looking? Obviously not.
We are not confused. You are confused. You're taking my answers and you're applying it to our relationship right now.
I'm not a bad boy.
These answers are for what I would be looking for if I were single, not now.
Ultimate story of this is that you gotta have some type of game. I used to have game a long time ago. I don't have it anymore. What's portrayed in here is a characteristic on how to pick up a female. Certain things you do and certain things that you don't do. But there are different characteristics to keep a female. They teach you how to get girls and how to bag girls and how to get girls home. But to actually develop a long-term relationship, I don't think any of these videos ever touch on those. For men, the bad boy traits are good, but a lot of times they don't hold well for conducive long-term relationships, healthy relationships. And for women, I think women don't understand that either. Women want the bad boy, but don't understand a lot of times what comes along with the bad boy. Also understand and not wanting a square guy either, because that could be very boring and get very boring after. It doesn't present a challenge and adventure. Ultimately, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, women do still want some sort of adventure in their life. And as long as there's a guy that can offer some sort of adventure and some sort of risk-taking to a degree, and just a change from the norm from time to time, of course, that they will be okay with that person. But if you're just a square, then sometimes it's hard to be able to pique that interest and excitement in the female.
No, I think that you're right. And I think it goes both ways. I mean, for a female too, if you're so just kind of, prude or set in your ways and you don't want to try new things, you don't want to, venture outside the box, I think that can get boring for a guy too.
Yeah, it gets very boring. Be open at least to having conversations about things. But on the same side, like, guys, you gotta remain adventurous. You gotta, look, just because you get a female doesn't mean that adventure stops. You gotta find out ways to spice things up. I would say we do something a little different every year. And sometimes it don't work out the best, but we at least try something different every year. What do you think of the guy? Was the guy more cute or more handsome, or?
He wasn't bad looking.
I mean, you could say, like.
He wasn't bad looking. What do you want me to say?
That's like saying, I got a friend to hook you up with. She's not ugly. Would you bag him?
I might.